Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the game according to me. This week we will be talking about week 5 of the college football season and week 4 of the national football season. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into the action. Let's start with college football. This week wasn't that big of a week in college football. There were two big upsets. I think Iowa State after the first week of the college football season, losing to Louisiana Lafayette, come back and they beat Oklahoma this week, 37-30, knocking Oklahoma out of the top 25 this week. And yeah, I thought there was another big upset. Oh, TCU beating Texas 33-31. Um, That's incredible. Apparently, since TCU has joined the Big 12, they have won six out of the 6 or 7 out of the last however many games there has been between these two. And so Texas right now, TCU has Texas's number, and I think they're probably looking at the Big 12. Which, by the way, it kind of the Big 12 has 10 teams. I mean, just go ahead and add like SMU, since that's TCU's biggest rival, and add another team, and just make it a full 12. I don't know why they're being so garbage about that thing. Just go ahead and make it a full 12. It's ridiculous. And in other action, BYU took down Louisiana Tech. Florida beat South Carolina. Tennessee beat Missouri. North Carolina beat Boston College. SMU, teams I just mentioned, beat Memphis. Cincinnati just beat South Florida. Alabama took out Texas A&M. Oklahoma State destroyed Kansas. Les Miles, I have no idea what you're doing in Kansas, my friend. Virginia Tech beat Duke. Georgia beat Auburn. Clemson beat Virginia, and then LSU took down Vanderbilt. Um, so again, it was other than the two upsets, it was a straight up week for the land of college football. And as we transfer to what's the upcoming week, um, yeah, we've got some very interesting games. Tennessee, number 14th in the world, will take on Georgia. We got the Red River Riders shootout. Doesn't matter what Oklahoma is doing. Doesn't matter what Texas is doing. Both coming out of loss. We got the Red River shootout. Texas and Oklahoma. Um, we got Miami versus Clemson. That's a big one. That's a big one. Miami is ranked 7th. Clemson is ranked 1. They might be the team that might take down Clemson. If there's any team that's going to take down Clemson in the ACC, that might be the Miami, Florida Hurricanes. And then we've got Florida State and Notre Dame late in the evening tomorrow night. So that's Saturday night. So, yeah, some really interesting tight games gonna be happening over this next weekend. So, some interesting, some not so interesting, and some more interesting than others. So it's going to be interesting. I think the game of the week, however, is of course Miami, Florida versus Clemson. That's going to be on the same time as Florida State and Notre Dame. So that's going to be interesting to see the ACC in prime time action. And now to the National Football League. The Titans and the Steelers did not play this week because of a COVID outbreak in the Titans. It seemed like every day, more and more of the Titans were becoming, outbreak. I think I just saw it. Let me just hold on a second, because I think I just saw it on the screen. So the Titans have just received no new positives for the second consecutive day. So there's a chance that they will play. They will play the Buffalo Bills this coming Sunday. Hopefully, people gotta stay on the straight and narrow. I don't know what's happened this outbreak. The Titans, we had a Titan outbreak, and then all of a sudden what's the faces? The Cam Newton comes down with a, testing positive. I mean, you can't do a bubble in the NFL. You just can't. That would be ridiculous. Um, but people gotta, they gotta, if they want to continue to play football, they're gonna have to do what they, need to do. You can't go out in the club. You can't, you can't have friends over. You can't do the things that do that. Well, you gotta social distance and wear your mask and do all of that stuff. So I don't know what happened. And listen, and that's Cam Newton. I'm talking about Cam Newton. When it comes to the Titans, you know, who knows what it could have been with the Titans. The rumor is that it was a personnel guy who didn't know or who knew he had it but didn't want to tell anybody and something like that. And that personnel guy maybe he wasn't necessarily going out in the club and doing anything like that. He could have been, he could have got it from his babysitter. He could have got it from, going out to hanging with his, going out to the store or something like that. Anything like that could have happened. But still, we got to do what's right here, folks. So we want to continue to have football happen. So come on, let's continue this. Um, and I would say this: if another outbreak happens, I think there's only two options. You can't stop the football league. That's not going to happen. But I think what you can do is that you can I shouldn't say stop it. You would be stopping any one of my things, but you'd have to either start forfeiting games. Like if the Titans didn't, if the Titans kept getting new positives, new players being positive, then they just would have had to forfeit the game against Buffalo. I mean, it's just anything like that. So, but yeah, you'd have to start forfeiting games, or what you would do is that you would take 2 weeks and just push back. Like you would take week 5 and week 6 and make it, and take that and make those now week 16 to 17 and push them back at the end of the season. They take 2 weeks and everybody get your mind right, get together, stop it, make sure you don't do nothing, stay in the house, social distance, yada yada yada, right? Just keep doing that. After all that said, let's get to the games. Thursday was a really interesting game. The Broncos with the Jets. Battle of the winless. Matt Rippon, Mark Rippon's nephew, had a interesting game, but he won his first start, beating the Jets. Sam Darnold in that game had a great run. He also got injured. We'll see if he'll be able to play come Sunday. And for Sunday's games, the Saints beat the Lions. The Buccaneers of Tom Brady's 5 touchdown passes beat the Chargers. Justin Herbert shines again. The Bengals, Joe Burrow get his first win, 33-25. The Vikings beat the Texans 31-23, causing the Texans to go to 0-4, and then firing Bill O'Brien as coach and as GM. So Romeo Cornell will take over. So we will have to see where now the Texans go from here. The Texans do not have a first or second round pick in this upcoming draft. They sent those to the Miami Dolphins for Larry Tunsil. So who knows how they're going to do to get better. Speaking of the Dolphins, they lost to the Seahawks 31-23. Russell Wilson still on his tear. 16 touchdown passes in the first 4 games, averaging 4 a game. Incredible. The Browns and the Cowboys had a crazy game. At one point, it was like 41-13 or something like that for the Browns, but the Cowboys made a run at it. Just couldn't get the job done because of the end. 49-38 was the final. Panthers upset the Cardinals 31-21. Without Christian McCaffrey, I would say it's an upset. The Ravens beat the football team 31-17. The Rams beat the Giants, low scoring affair 17-9. Bills beat the Raiders 30-23. Josh Allen is looking really, really good, y'all. I mean, really, he is looking really, really good. I think right now it's neck and neck between him and Russell Wilson for your MVP. But Justin Allen is looking looked real good, man. I'm glad to see it. There's a lot of people that didn't think he was gonna have the talent, to do so, but he is looking real good. The Colts beat my Bears 19-11. Nick Foles did not do nothing with the offense. The Eagles Sunday night beat the 49ers 25-20, making them 1-2-1 and making them the leader in the NFC least. God, yeah. At 1-2-1, they are the first place team in the NFC least. And last night, because Cam Newton was tested positive for COVID, they pushed back the Patriots Chiefs game from Sunday uh, to Monday, just to make sure that nobody else tested positive. Nobody else did. Um, that's great. Also, the Chiefs had a player test positive as well, but ain't nobody on the Chiefs tested positive. So they came back, they came together, they played. The Chiefs beat the Patriots 26-10 last night, and also the Packers beat the Falcons 30-16. Falcons go to 0-4, Packers go to 4-0, and we could see very much another coach get fired today as Dan Quinn goes 0-4. And I know they've had a lot of injuries, but it's some of the ways that they have lost, I think puts a bad image on that team. So I think you can definitely see them, doing something, today. So don't be surprised if while you listen to this today, the news breaks of the Atlanta Falcons firing Dan Quinn. And then let's go ahead and let's check out next week, week 5. We have Thursday night games. The Buccaneers at my Bears. Like I said, Tom Brady comes off 5 touchdown passes. Bears offense couldn't get it together. We will see what's happening. Bills and Titans are a good game. Like we just talked about the Titans. For this, and actually, there's still a chance that this game could be canceled, could be forfeited. But hopefully this is good because this is a good team, a battle of two undefeateds, two quarterbacks who are not thought of very likely, or at least wasn't at the beginning of the season. Josh Allen considered to be maybe still young, but maybe not the guy. And and Ryan Tannehill get that all the money and saying, well, that's not the reason why they're winning is Derrick Henry. Why is he's just a game manager, but he's been a good player as well. So that's going to be a good game in the early window. And then let's see, we've got Raiders and Chiefs could be very interesting. But it's at the Chiefs, not at Vegas. So yeah, so we got Jaguars, Texas, Bengals, Ravens, Panthers, Falcons, Eagles, Steelers, Cardinals, Jets, Rams at the football team in the early window. But I think the early window game is that Bills Titans game. That's the game that you want to see, and you want to watch. So that's gonna be an interesting one, I think. In the late window, we got the 49ers hosting the Dolphins. You got the Giants and the Cowboys. You got the Colts and the Broncos, and you got the Broncos at the Patriots. Well, I guess it's the Colts and the Browns actually to be quite with you. You got 2 3-1 teams. Your Colts and the Browns, and that's actually surprisingly going to be the game in the second window. That's the game that you want to see. Can Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns continue this streak if they're getting the ball early to Odell Beckham Jr.? We want them to continue to get the ball early to Beckham Jr. Nick Chubb he is injured. I believe he is actually out. By the way, I believe he's out 4 to 6 weeks with his injury. It wasn't a really bad injury, but it was injured enough that he will be missing time. So you've got that, and as we saw in that game against the Bears, that Colts defense stops the run anyway. So now you got Kareem Hunt and the other guy who filled in Sunday for Nick Chubb. They're gonna stop that, and they're gonna make Baker Mayfield beat them with Landry and and Beckham Jr. So, and of course Phillip Rivers, he's not turned the ball over, since that first game. So that's actually surprisingly the game in the second window. So that's interesting. We've got the Vikings and the Seahawks. Uh, Sunday night. That's not going to be a very good game. That may not be a yeah. That may not necessarily be a game that is um it could be one of those surprise games. Is what I'm trying to say. That even though the Vikings are 1-3, the Seahawks are 4-0, it still could be a competitive game. Go down to the wire. So I don't think the Vikings are 0-3 good. Hold on. Okay, I apologize, y'all. That was the smoke alarm beeping, and I was wondering what the hell that was. So that's what threw me off when I was talking about the Vikings and the Seahawks. So yes, that can be a game that can be competitive, and um, 'cause I guess I was saying the Vikings, I believe, are better than their record. And then finally, the Monday Night Football game is the Chargers and the Saints. Um, Saints 2-game winning streak, or actually not a 2-game winning streak. They just beat the Lions, and then we got the Chargers. Justin Herbert still doing well, so that could be a very interesting game as well. I'm not gonna, the Chargers had a big lead on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then um, um, Brady brought them back. So I'm not gonna count the Chargers out in this game against the Saints. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. That's it for it this week. Make sure you come back next Tuesday. Um, Wherever you find your favorite podcast, come and join me as I will be talking about week 5 of the NFL and week 6 of college football. Um, Also, make sure you go to patreon.com/AJTRIP, become a Patreon. Once I hit a certain amount of patrons, we will be opening up things that you can figure out what you want to hear me talk about on my podcast. Where do you want to hear me, see me watch me play on my Twitch channel, and what videos you'd like to see me do on my YouTube channel. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.